Well, hello. It is the fourth Sunday after Epiphany. It is January 31st, 2021. And for the members of Peace and Nelsonville Lutheran, it is Annual Meeting Sunday. In the past few days, you got first an email that had a whole lot of preparatory materials in it. There was a PDF of our annual report. It's been sanitized. We, especially with children's names and names of people who are vulnerable, we just did initials. If you want to know who those people are, contact the church office, and we're happy to fill you in on who they are. But because it's up on the web, because it's out in the world, we wanted to make it harder for criminals to steal people's identities or to manipulate families who may or may not still be in grief. So that explains that. Connected to that email, I think there were 10 links in that email, something crazy. We had the pastor's reports from both Pastor Gretchen and from me. We had president's reports from both churches, treasurers and budget reports from both churches, and a property report from Nelsonville Church. So there's a lot to look at, a lot to think about, so that when we get together on Sunday in our virtual annual meetings, you'll be prepared. You'll know what's going on, and we can just bing, 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 go through the business of the church and prepare ourselves for what God has for us in the coming year. So if you're a member of the church listening to this, please come to the annual meeting. Again, there were introductory materials. I think they went out Wednesday. On Friday, we sent out a link that had the Zoom address that all you have to do is click and you'll be brought to the meeting. The meeting, the Nelsonville meeting, is Sunday afternoon, the 31st at 1 o'clock, and the Peace meeting is Sunday afternoon, the 31st at 3 o'clock. And so we need to make quorum. I would love it if you would pre-register. The emails that came early in the week have places for you to pre-register, so I know that we're going to have quorum. There's no point having a meeting with 17 people. Anything we do would just be illegal anyway. So I am asking you to please come, please participate in the virtual annual meetings of the congregations. All right, other things that you need to know. We are continuing to worship outdoors. It's fun. You should come. Unless it's dangerous for you, you should come. I mean, we are a tough and rugged people. We do outdoor sports. We spend time out in God's creation in the winter, and it's 20-25 minutes. I would love to see you at church. If you're unable to come, of course, we have the online offerings for you, but I would love to see more of you at church. When do we get back together? The pastor's reports, the annual meeting reports talk about when and how we're going to get back together. It's coming. It's going to come, but it's not coming this week or next week. And so I invite you into that information and into that conversation. Prayer list. It's been a tough time. It's been a really tough time the last few days and weeks. We have 4 families in the initial stages of grief. Harvey Olson, one of the pillars of Peace Church, died from complications of COVID. Dolores Johnson passed away from cancer that she just fought valiantly for years and years. Bill Carlson passed away. Multiple complications, including COVID, and Rita Elkins, also a member of Peace, passed away. And so there are people in grief, there are people in loss, there are people who are just numb at the moment. And if you would be praying for them and thinking of them, I would be grateful for that. Peggy P., member over at Nelsonville. This is not, Peggy P. over at Nelsonville, Judy's sister. That'll help you. Had knee surgery and is recovering from that. Gail is recovering at Bethany. Jay, and this is not Ruth and Gail's son, the other JG, is recovering at home from COVID, and Joan is recovering from COVID. The rest of the names you've seen before, people are continuing to mend, continuing to heal, continuing their path back to wholeness, and so we commend all of them to God's grace, and we look for the kingdom of God that will sweep away disease and brokenness and evil of all kinds. Yes? A reminder that the food shelf is open, track is open Monday mornings and Thursday evenings. If you or one of your neighbors are in need, please come. We have the food you need. We have the support you need, and it's our honor to care for you. Your confidentiality will be protected. You'll be treated with dignity. We would love to be part of helping you. First Communion classes, as I announced last week, are going to be delayed. They usually happen in February, but Zoom meetings with fifth graders just doesn't sound like the ideal learning environment for them. So I am hopeful that by summer we'll be able to do in-person classes with the fifth graders and do First Communion training there. While we're talking about communion, just a reminder, if you want communion, you can have communion. Call the church. We have ways to do communion safely with you and your bubble, whatever group of people that you're already associating with, already hanging around. You come in, we'll do a little service, we'll get you communion. May God be praised. So that door is open. There are a few families who have been taking advantage of that right along, and so if you were under the impression that the altar of the Lord is closed or the table of the Lord is closed, it's not. It can't be. It will never be. Come and receive, and it'll be our honor to do that. We're hopeful that as cases continue to go down, as the vaccination rate goes up, that we'll be able to start doing indoor services, first with a bubble or two, maybe spread out, and then more and more as the crisis abates, as vaccination rates rise, as infection rates fall. It's coming. We're almost through it. It is coming. Those are the main announcements. There's not a lot to say. We're hopeful that today's annual meetings are filled with grace and peace. I don't know why they wouldn't be. God has blessed, protected, and kept. God has blessed, protected, and kept us this past year, and so I anticipate a good conversation with the people of God about where we've been and where we're going. And I'm grateful for you, and I commend you to God's care. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, my good friend. Bye-bye.